Kitchen Riffin's back. We're on week, who knows, of quarantine. I came up with a list of some of my favorite dishes, kind of those dishes that when I go to a city, I make it a priority to eat this dish. And the first one that always comes to mind is from Chris Shepard's restaurant, Hey Merchant in Houston, where my oldest brother lives. And the thing that I really loved was their Korean fried chicken sandwich. It was this fried chicken sandwich, very simple, just had this awesome Korean spice honey glaze on it, some sesame seeds, some sliced pickles, and that's it. And that is something that I eat almost every time I go to Houston, and so I figured why not recreate it. I am using a brine that essentially was ripped off of Kenji López-Alt's recipe, and we're just going to kind of riff on that and try to get it a little bit closer to the consistency that Hey Merchant used to use on theirs. So, without further ado, we're going to get into making Hey Merchant's Korean fried chicken sandwich. So I've got a bunch of this gochujang paste. It's this Korean paste that makes this dish. And I'll try to come up with some measurements, but consider it about 3 parts gochujang to 1 part honey. We're gonna put like a dash of vinegar in there. That's apple cider vinegar. I don't really like PBR, but I think they have a strong brand. And these cool cans. So, if it's a light beer, that's all that matters. So an IPA is not going to be good. I had this really complicated combination of ingredients for this sauce. I called Hey Merchant, and I was really psyched to hear the guy from Hey Merchant just say, it's gochujang, honey, you mix that up into a paste, and then mix some beer into there. And lastly, melted butter, which just exploded in my microwave. That will happen. Throwing that butter in there. And that's just, let's get all of that in there. That's going to give you a richer glaze. And the butter, I think just, it does do wonders for this sauce. You can taste it in there for sure. And so we're looking for something that's like a loose barbecue sauce. I like that consistency. We're gonna prep the dredge, which is the like flour mixture that you're gonna fry chicken in. I'm also gonna just start heating up the frying oil because it's gonna take a while. When we did this the first time, we got the oil way too hot. So I'm just gonna put it on like medium-high heat. I'm gonna weigh a couple of these measurements out, and I have a list. This is another Kenji López-Alt dredge recipe, all-purpose flour. I forgot the cornstarch the first time I did this. Cornstarch makes everything way crispier. We're also putting baking powder in this, and I'm not measuring it. A lot more of that gochujang powder, about 1/4 a cup. Garlic powder. There's garlic in the brine too. Lots of black pepper. This is something you can eyeball. It's a sort of spicy dish anyway. I just kind of go nuts with it. They could probably use even more than this, but I'm just kind of tired of doing this, so I'm stopping there. And then a little bit of salt, and I think that's it. Oh, sesame seeds. So Chris Shepard, the guy, I think it's Chris Shepard, the hay merchant guy, I think I was telling you guys earlier, is a fellow Nebraskan, which makes me proud. And this restaurant, my brother used to live like a half a mile away from it. And I would go there, I would make sure if I was there for like 2 nights that one of those nights I would go to this place. And I would almost always get the chicken sandwich.
Nice.
And it's no longer on the menu. So
why did you take it off?
Good question. I think they're one of those restaurants that just kind of wants to like do new stuff every now and then. All the while, this canola oil, there's 2 liters in there. And this is why I don't typically like frying stuff. I'm only frying this chicken because it's like, you know, you gotta fry the chicken.
For your viewers.
To recreate this.
For your loyal subscribers.
No, for our
eating pleasure.
Exactly. I'll include a link to the baked chicken recipe that's from Food 52. That's a lot like fried chicken, but it's just not the same consistency and it's not the same flavor. In the meantime, I've got this brine that I put together earlier, and it's been soaking here for like 7 hours probably.
Did you leave the bone in?
No, they're boneless, skinless chicken thighs. In part for the size of it, because I'm hoping they're like perfect size for a sandwich.
They seem right.
And in part, just because I think chicken thighs taste way better. Take our first one, drip it out, right in there. So, got some in my sauce. Next one, also right in there. And you're just gonna cover it, pat it down. So there's our first piece. And there's a reason this is my first time frying chicken, but it's definitely beautiful. So I'm gonna put 3 in there. I don't want to crowd it too much. I think we're ready, huh?
I mean, I'm super excited to eat that.
Cool.
So.
This is bound to be messy. I don't think you can do this without being messy.
I guess you're gonna have to.
But I'm just glazing that on there. That's gonna make for some beautiful footage. Wow. I'm glad I made a little more, Daniel. We're gonna want it.
Toast the bun.
Yeah.
Oh. We'll take. Which one's the prettiest? Just tell me.
This one.
It's definitely the biggest. And also the prettiest. Oh, I'm so psyched about this. We're gonna do one more extra
Yeah,
glaze for good measure. We're gonna take a few of these sliced pickles.
The sauce is like just delightful, light and spicy and good flavor. I don't know. I really like it.
The pickles really tie things together. Just makes things pop.
Look at this homemade bun. Look at the color. Look at the texture. Look at the fluff on that. That is a sandwich right there.
You ready? Let's see how we did. That's close enough for me. God, that's beautiful.